Bring back rock.
Hey everybody, it's Dean. Welcome to Bring Back Rock. Today we're doing something a little different. Well, we've done it before, talk about movies with the rock and roll ties. This one has ties to the Sunset Strip scene. But we've done it in the past. We've talked about the Bikini Car Wash Company movies and those soundtracks, which are great. We talked about the quintessential heavy metal horror movie Trick or Treat with Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne's cameos and that amazing Fastway soundtrack. And now this one, 1988's Beach Balls. This one somehow flew past me back in the day, so I have to thank my friend Erin from the Manic Movie Monday podcast. She pointed this one out to me. You can catch her podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. And it says right here, a rock party from Los Angeles with a parade of new bands vying for stardom. So there you go. We'll talk a little bit about the movie, a little bit about the music. Normally I post music samples at the end of the videos, but today I think what I'm going to do, there's 10 songs, 8 artists. I'm going to post a companion video with the entire soundtrack on it. Just look up Bring Back Rock, Beach Balls soundtrack. You should find it. So we're going to do that. Let's get right to it. 1988's Beach Balls. Let's start with the movie. Now, I don't want to oversell or undersell the movie and the soundtrack. The movie is a low-budget movie, maybe not the funniest comedy I've ever seen, but it has its charm. I love the fact that they included the 80s rock scene into it, and there are some cool, undiscovered tracks to be found on the soundtrack, most likely by some bands that you may have never heard of. So let's start. It's a Roger Corman produced teen sex comedy. A rather tame teen sex comedy. As a matter of fact, I only remember one sex scene with brief nudity. Now, Roger Corman is the king of low-budget movies. He gave a start to many actors and directors. Actors like Jack Nicholson, Peter Fonda, and Bruce Dern. And directors such as Martin Scorsese, Francis Ford Coppola, Joe Dante, James Cameron, Ron Howard, and more. The movie came out in 1988 and blended the beach comedy and the current popularity of hard rock and the Sunset Strip scene. It stars Philip Paley as Charlie, a guitarist without a band who's been pining over Wendy, played by Heidi Helmer, the past few summers. Wendy only dates guys in bands and has her eyes on Keith, played by Douglas R. Starr. More on him in a sec. Keith and his acquaintance of Charlie's, and Wendy asks for an intro, setting up our lover's triangle. Charlie has a best friend, Scully, played by Stephen Tash, who you may remember from Christine and Ghostbusters, among others. Scully hooks up with Wendy's best friend, Tony, and is responsible for a lot of the comedy. Charlie has a probation officer for driving a car he didn't know was stolen, and the probation officer is also a good comedy foil as he's going through marriage problems and finds Charlie a good listener. Now, Charlie's just a good guy who loves to rock and wants the girl. Can he overcome his parents, sister, Wendy's brother, the bad kids who got him arrested to begin with, and Keith to get the girl? Can he help Keith's band Severed Heads in a Bag get a record deal? And is that Bill Gazzari, the godfather of rock? Okay, told you there would be a bit more on Douglas R. Starr, an OG on the Sunset Strip, singing and playing in various bands. A guy who was nice enough to talk to me a few times. We plan on doing a full interview for you guys. There is a scene in a rock club, and he confirms it was Gazzari's, both the club and backstage dressing area where we first meet his character. Looking forward to the interview so we can get some details on his music acting career and get some cool Sunset Strip stories. Almost forgot to mention, Charlie, as I said, is played by actor Philip Paley. He is best known for, get this, people of a certain age will remember the TV show Land of the Lost from Saturday mornings past. Philip played Chaka. Yes, Chaka. Not sure what Chaka was, but he is a friend of the family stuck in the prehistoric Land of the Lost. And those slee stacks, man, that was pure nightmare fuel for us, the young kids. Luckily, Charlie looks nothing like Chaka in reality. All right, on to the soundtrack. Filled with a variety of unsigned bands from back in the day. Hans Naughty has 2 songs on the soundtrack, Say Hey Hey and Paint the Town Red. They were Terrence Dean, a.k.a. Terrence Broadbent on guitar, Danny Jazz, a.k.a. Danny Sullivan on vocals, hopefully I got this name right, Sec Stenato on bass, and Jim Flanagan on drums. They released an album on Ironworks called Paint the Town Red in 1987, and they open up the soundtrack with Say Hey Hey. Next is Puss in Boots. It's a female rock band with Jan King on vocals and guitar, Tammy Peden on drums, P-E-D-E-N, and Liza Corbett on bass. Jan and Tammy released an album with the band The Orchids in 1980 and were under the tutelage of legendary Kim Fowley. The song on the soundtrack is Let's Burn, and they released a self-released demo and self-titled demo in 1990. If you look up Puss in Boots, Jan King, you'll find out more. Dr. Starr, or Dr. Starr, has 2 songs on the album. The songs are Time to Rock and Passion Fix. Now, he was a frontman of a number of bands back in the day, and I'm not sure who the other players on the songs were. Maybe when we talk in the future, I can get those details from him. Now, the song Passion Fix actually had a video made for it, and they won the MTV show Basement Tapes one week, garnering them airplay on the channel for the week. Temporary Insanity was a thrash band formed in 1986 in Boston. They released a number of demos and finally a compilation album in 2017 on Dive Bomb Records. Their song on the soundtrack, Hear Us. Wrapping up side A on the album is Black Monday. I could find nothing on Black Monday. I think they may have just been put together for this song. It's an instrumental, and it sounds like you would think an instrumental rock song would sound on a soundtrack, but it's good. And I do not skip it when I listen to it. It's called Burning. Castle Blak, but Black is spelled B-L-A-K, appears with the song Don't Tell Me About Your Boyfriend. They were active from 83 to 93 in the San Francisco area and reunited for one show to record One More Sin Live, a live album, in 2016. They actually released 3 albums back in the day: Babes in Toyland in 1985, Another Dark Carnival in 1986 that includes the song Don't Tell Me About Your Boyfriend, and No Bed of Roses in 1992. There were Kev Miller on bass, Scott Sanders on drums, Chuck Moore on guitar, and Regent St. Clair on vocals and rhythm guitar. Next up we have Mox Nix, M-O-X-N-I-X. Houston area band released one album in 1986. It was self-titled on Axe Killer Records. It's been reissued on a number of different labels with bonus tracks from a recorded second album. They were Johnny Duff on vocals, Bruce Tusinow, hopefully I said that right, on guitar, Robert Fernandez on bass, and Joe Vernagallo on drums. Now the album wraps up with Strut and the song Party Town. Not much out there on Strut. I found out they released a demo in 1986, and they were Grant Stevens on vocals, George Mitchell on guitar, Carl Willis on bass, and Jim Tucci on drums. Now, like I said, because there are so many songs and bands, instead of samples, I am uploading a companion video with a soundtrack, and you can check out all the songs for yourself. It's a variety of styles, all hard rock. See if you find something you like. My favorite track for me is probably Time to Rock. So let me know what catches your ear. All right, so that's 1988's Beach Balls, the movie and the soundtrack. Like I said, if you want to check out the music from the soundtrack, I'm going to post that companion video. Just look up Bring Back Rock, Beach Balls soundtrack, or check out my list of videos. I want to thank Douglas R. Starr for taking the time to answer some questions about the movie for me, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him at some point. Hearing about his music career, hearing about his acting career some more, and also getting some good Sunset Strip stories. And thank you to Todd Lane for putting us in touch. And I want to thank you guys most of all for watching these, subscribing, sharing, whatever you do to just let me know you're out there. Appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks.